What's going on, guys? B-Flatten here with another build video. This is a build update from a previous build that we made. This is Moze, but now Moze has turned evil. This is now Evil Moze. Evil manufacturers, Evil Shield, all companies that are bad in Borderlands games. That's what this Moze is going to be working off of. So let's get right into the skill trees, into the weapons of Evil Moze, and then we'll show off some gameplay. So the trees are pretty much the same. It didn't change too much. We did spec out a match set for Moze, and we did change it so that Scrappy is now maxed out. Let's go over everything. So Cloud of Lead, occasionally Moze and Iron Bear shots will do bonus fire damage and won't consume ammo. Redistribution for the crit for regen and ammo. Scrappy, so that whenever you move, you get bonus damage. Scorching RPMs, fire rate, and crit hit damage. Iron Bear gains hardpoint damage. This is for the increased fire rate and crit hit damage mostly. Iron Bank, so that we can have more mag size. Click Click, so this is the COV weapon damage. The more that your weapons heat up, the more damage that they do. Some for the road, whenever you get out of your Iron Bear, you don't consume ammo for 5 seconds. With COV weapons, it automatically cools off all the heat, and you also don't gain heat, and you also don't consume ammo whenever you use some for the road together. And of course, Forge, whatever weapon you're holding, it gets 5% of its mag resize, or its mag size per second regened. Over into our blue tree. Fire in the Stag's Den. Splash damage is fire damage. Whenever I do splash damage, I can add ammo, and I can also add a grenade. Torque Cross promo, whenever there's splash damage, the splash is increased by 30%, and there's also a chance to double splash radius. This is a skill that's going to be blowing yourself up a lot, so your movement is pretty vital. Auto Bear, whenever you exit your bear remains for 15 seconds. Pull the Holy Pin, your crits go off of your nades. Vampire, whenever you do grenade or Iron Bear damage, you heal. Why can't I carry these grenades for more grenade capacity? You'll see why this is useful in just a second. To the last, whenever you are in fight for your life, you can throw nades. And Short Fuse, whenever you do gun damage, there's a chance for a secondary explosion on the target. And the secondary explosion damage is 75% of gun damage. I have a little bit in Red Tree, but not too much. I do 5 into Armored Infantry. Whenever the shields are active, I gain damage reduction and gun damage. Because our shields are going to be active all the time with this build, this is going to be major damage, and I'm also getting damage reduction as well, so I don't take a lot of damage. My class mods are adding Desperate Measures. My class mods are also adding Desperate Measures, 3 points into it. The lower my HP is, the more gun damage I do. Its current effect gives me 50% gun damage. And I also have 2 into Phalanx Doctrine. Whenever you kill an enemy, you gain a stack of Phalanx Doctrine. For every stack, you gain max shield and gun damage. Each stack lasts 30 seconds. At its current effect, I get 4% damage per stack, and 6% damage per stack go into shields. Getting into the weapons now. We have the Flipper as our main mobber. Whenever I'm under 50% of my HP, I get 150% bonus radiation damage. It's shock corrosion, so it's very nice. No Pew Pew is a COV weapon for fire damage. Gargoyle, this is a ×2 50% 150 radiation. This is another one of our main mobbers. And the Yellow Cake, just to blow up things that are in a big size, or big bosses, or big enemies. This is the one that came over from Moze. So if you have the Moze one from earlier, you probably won't need this one. They all share the same under 50% HP, deal 150% radiation for that bonus element, and all of them do different elements that is not radiation, except for the Yellow Cake. And I'm also using an Old God Shield that is Hyperion. I do 20% bonus shock damage, and on action skill end, whenever you leave your Iron Bear, you do 50% more shock damage. This is primarily going to be going into the Flipper. And a Cloning Maddening Tracker. This is the only thing that's off of the evil manufacturer portion. But this thing is very useful, especially with all our grenade skills. On Grenade Thrown, you get weapon damage and action skill damage, and also grenade damage that are increased by 25% for 6 seconds. So this is going to be going into Pull the Holy Pin, Means of Destruction, and Vampire. You can crit, you can add ammo, or you can add grenade chance, or you can heal. It's mostly our healing skill though. Because we only have 1 HP, the bloodletter from before. We heal our shields instead. And the Atom Bomb Deathless, you get bonus radiation damage, you get 100% shield capacity, but you go down to 1 HP. So let's try this out in action. So we'll start with our flipper. Throwing grenades is going to be the way that you stay alive and heal, so make sure you're throwing them every couple seconds. You also get done damage for them as well, so it's also a... it's a dual effect, so you can have both healing and also some increased damage with it as well. Explosions are going everywhere. We never reload at all. We're constantly gaining ammo regen as we're firing. There's also a chance that we don't consume ammo. The flipper is a great gun. Okay, let me explain one thing that I didn't explain previously. So the flipper shoots out multiple pellets. Someone said that it shot out 9. I don't know if it's 9, but someone told me that it shoots out 9. From the appearance though, it shoots out multiple pellets. Sometimes you'll see the shock, and occasionally you'll see fire. That's 2 elements right there. Because we're also under 50% of our HP, it's also doing radiation damage. So it's shooting out 3 different elements at the same time, constantly. Here's the other thing. With short fuse, whenever you do gun damage, there's a chance for a secondary explosion on the target. Because there's multiple pellets, there's multiple chance for short fuse to activate. So there's explosions going on the target, there's 3 different elements going on the target. This thing is mobbing and hitting very hard. Okay, let's add a little bit of COV this time. So for this, we're going to want to enter Iron Bear, and then exit our Iron Bear. Now we don't consume ammo for 5 seconds. You can also see that our heat doesn't rise up at all. Now that our heat is starting to rise up a little bit, we get more gun damage off of that due to desperate measures. You got to be careful, because sometimes you blow yourself up. If you're in too close, you will blow up. It's a good way to keep in practice of moving around a lot, because you're also getting Scrappy. Scrappy is 30% gun damage whenever you're moving. Now this type of movement can be jumping, running, strafing back and forth. As long as you have some form of movement going on, Scrappy will activate. Okay, so now our heat was max, just like before. We have max heat, we enter our Iron Bear, we exit, and all the heat is gone. So you completely refresh your COV heat, and you don't consume ammo for 5 seconds. Now because this is a ×2, you're going to want to repeat this process very often, because your reload is going to be at an all-time high. The gargoyle with a ×2 definitely consumes a lot of ammo. And if we don't want him here anymore, we can just yellow cake him out of here. He's gone. The yellow cake did take our nerf recently. You can notice that the damage is down and the explosion radius is not as high. That's okay. The yellow cake is still a fantastic rocket launcher. And in regards to COV, it is probably one of the better rocket launchers. Still does major damage. Moze is going to make the most use out of it, because the explosion damage, the explosion radius is nice. It also works with our Atom Bomb as well, our Deathless artifact. With Atom Bomb, we're getting more radius, we're getting more damage, and we're getting more burst out of it as well. It is insane. Okay, I didn't show off the no pew pew yet, so we're going to show off the no pew pew in the next area. So just like every other COV, we'll enter our Iron Bear, we'll exit our Iron Bear. Now we don't consume ammo for 5 seconds. And the more that the no pew pew shoots, the faster that its fire rate goes up. We also have a skill that increases our fire rate naturally, so this thing is going to be shooting very quickly. By the time you have it reloaded, if you even do decide to reload with it, you will be going back up to 1400 ammo very quickly due to Forge. It has a 1400 mag size, and because we get 5% of our mag size back a second just by holding it in our hand, this thing goes up to 1400 very quickly. And he's gone. This guy over here, fire on flesh, he's gone. shoot some more gargoyle on these guys just because they're all cluttered. I agree, Moze, multi-kill, yeah. That guy's gone. Those guys gone. Now, as you can see, match set kind of takes a little bit of a hit on us. It was a very, very nice skill to have. But a lot of our COV weapons have minus heat parts. So those things are also going to be very beneficial. And I just noticed that upon testing, match set wasn't really necessary anymore, based on the replacements of this build. It was nice on Moze because we could spam the yellow cake as much as possible. That was the entire purpose of Moze. But now that we're playing around with many different weapons at many different times, depending on what we're going against, it's okay to spec out of that. And of course, our famous Captain Trant. We could do a few runs on Trant. Now, this is one of my favorite things. I'm not gonna reload the entire time fighting Trant. All it is just 3 elements, multiple explosions, 3 elements, multiple explosions. No reloading. Just hold down the trigger and move occasionally for Scrappy. And Trant is gone. A couple seconds later, we're at max ammo on our flipper again, and we're just ready to go. This is really, really important for high traffic areas, such as like the Guardian takedown, or enemies that just have multiple mobs. It is a very, very nice thing to have, especially during the crystal phase. The crystal phase is a very intense thing, and not having to reload during the crystal phase is beautiful. Alright, let's do another run on Trant. Now, this build, I have thrown through all the gauntlets already. It can do Mollywand takedown on normal and true takedown, and it can also do Guardian takedown on normal and true takedown. This build is complete. It's ready for you to try out. See if you can get anything fancy on Trant here. Now, the yellow cake isn't what it used to be. If you've seen the one-shot compilation, you would know that there's a major difference between this and major difference with this and the yellow cake previously. Still does a ton of damage. Not gonna one-shot like it did before. See if we can get any decent recordings. Teosin. Oh, we did get a bloodletter, but not the one you want. Alright, I think we're gonna call the video there though, guys. So this thing, it can mob, it can boss, it can do anything you want it to. All the Guardian takedowns. Feel free to give it a try. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, guys. Remember, I do build videos and challenge runs on stream. Stream scenes at first. I do this from Tuesdays to Saturdays at a 5:30 p.m. Central Standard start time. Guys, my name is B Flatten. Thank you all so much for watching once again. And I'm signing on out of here. Laters all.